Hello there, guys. Welcome back to Reborn with Michael. Today I'm actually talking how to actually feel as if your wish is fulfilled. Okay. Now, there's a lot of misinformation out there about that. So today I'm going to break that down so that you don't have to make the mistakes that I made when I was learning all this stuff. And the truth is going to really enlighten you. So if you like Spirituality Simplified, please consider like, sharing, and subscribing. Maybe check out my free Facebook group in the description. And if you are interested, I have an offer at the end of this video that I think you may like, but I'm going to get straight into the meat and potatoes now. So when Neville Goddard was talking about feeling, he wasn't talking too heavily about emotions. He was talking about the idea of acceptance. And I want you to understand that what we have to do is actually make the desire feel natural. People often say to me, what do I do? How often shall I visualize? How often shall I affirm? How often should I pray? And you pray not until you hold the thing in your hand. You do it to create the state of being inside you that is already having the stuff that you wish. So we have to understand that the desire that we want is, I believe, a God-given stirring within, but we want something else outside of us. The truth of the matter is it's our job to actually work on not being reactionary to the opposite end. Your reactions are actually holding you back from getting into this feeling. Let's talk about it. Well, look, you have to pay this bill and you've been working on abundance, or you are worried about your body and your health, or you are trying to do these things and that thing, but it's just not happening. It's because you are wanting it so much. You're reacting to the environment. You're giving power to the world of Caesar, as Neville would say. Reactions are really powerful, though, because they actually give us an indication of what we really feel. Now, if you were living in your truth, say you were like, I want to live as a millionaire. Well, a millionaire doesn't react to a $500 bill. A millionaire doesn't even blink when they have to pay $10,000 for some mentorship or coaching. They just don't. Now, I'm not saying you go out and spend this money when you don't have it, but you have to learn on becoming natural around money. And the other thing is someone who is in health, they do not hate their body. They do not think badly of their body. They appreciate it, but gently. So when we're getting into this natural feeling, we have to see the world as just illusionary things of past shadows of thoughts and feelings. What you're experiencing now is the reflection of that fear that you had in the past, or the worries that you had in the past. Now, I'm going to do a video on Job in the Bible because it's the greatest teacher of how fear can break down issues and make you feel so many issues in your life. So your desire, once normalized, I like to say the word normalized, really, once you make it feel so normal, it's going to manifest. Because what you've done by that point there is you've actually given up the power of the formalistic world, and you've started to make the power inside of you more important. What is going on inside of you right now? Are you peaceful? Are you at ease? Or are you reactionary? Are you frightened? So I like to do something where I will get into that state akin to sleep. Now, I ask you to do it. You get into that relaxed state. I do it by observing anything that isn't relaxed in my body, and suddenly my body succumbs to it. It goes. Then you start to hold an image or a prayer in your mind, and you repeat it regularly. And you do that, and you do it until you feel a deep sense of inner peace. There's not much more that you have to do after that. But what we tend to do, and when I'm working with people, I say, don't make it about getting anything. We make manifestation about achievement too much. Now, it sounds paradoxical, but if you're trying to achieve something so much, you're constantly living in the lack of it. Your job on the manifestation journey is growth, is growth and spiritual understanding. If you make your manifestation journey more spiritual, that's why I started to incorporate the ideas of Michael Singer and realizing that what is it on my body? What is it that I'm noticing? What is it that I'm feeling? That's the energy that I want to work with. That's what I want to understand, okay? I want to understand what's happening inside of me because I want to become the master of my inner world. When you become the master of your emotions and your inner world, then the outer world starts to lose its power. This is the perfect point of how to actually feel the feeling, because now nothing else can take you away from your desired outcome, because the world doesn't hold any dominion over you anymore. Okay, so you really need to start seeing the world as merely a reflection of what you've been through in the past. It isn't a truth of what is happening right now. It is the mirrored reflection of your past emotional thoughts, feelings, and actions. So now that's why we have to get still within the chaos. Life may be chaotic right now, but we rise above it mentally and emotionally to be able to bring in the desired outcome. Now, there's a story in the Bible where Jesus resurrects the dead man. This is the point here. So he goes to the house. There's a widow as the dead son. She comes out and says, "Please, Master, help me. And he touches her and says, "Okay, I feel your pain." He goes in and he lays his hands across the dead man and he rises up once again. This is a symbol of how to do Feeling is the Secret exactly, okay? Because what it represents, the widow is someone who has a husband who is dead. The husband the woman is representative of the subconscious mind. The husband being dead means that the conscious mind is not feeling anything to it. It's not feeding the wife anymore the ideas of God, of greatness, of the desire. The dead son is the desire. So he resurrected that state of good within the wife, the widow, and the son arose. So that means the desire was realized. You must resurrect the idea of wealth within you. You resurrect the idea of health within you by not becoming such a slave to circumstance. Once you start to understand that, you can truly manifest anything you could ever dream of, because circumstance is absolutely meaningless when it comes to the power of the divine, when it comes to the power of God. So you really work on cultivating the inner world, and you use your reactions as a sort of litmus test to see how you actually feel. If you're reacting about money, you don't feel secure and faithful that money is yours. If you're reacting about your health, it's because you don't believe in health, and you get what you believe. Remember, God didn't say it's your gratitude that made you whole. He said it's your faith. And I think faith really comes when we find a deep sense of inner peace. And inner peace allows you to normalize and focus on a desire long enough to see it happen. Because now you're not efforting. Now you're not trying. You do not add power to the divine, my friends. It is your job to let go of fear. Fear is the illusion that comes on top of the true you, which is the observer. So you notice that fear that comes up. You give it no power and you realize, I want things to go my way and I'm trying to force an outcome. But actually what I need to do is let go, balance my energy towards the truths of God, which is peace, harmony, joy, abundance, and all good things. And I need to reiterate those eternal truths into my mind. And it reprograms the subconscious mind towards good. That is what is going to happen, my friends. And that is how you feel it. You let go, you notice your reaction, you observe, let go, you rise above it. Now the world is just the illusion that you get to interact with. That is my point to you here and now. I hope you found this video helpful. If you've made it to this point, guys, I'm actually looking for 2 or 3 new clients that are looking for some help on their manifestation journey. Reach out below. I'd love to meet you, and I'll see you there if it's for you. Take care.